Hi, and welcome to Marketing Habits, part of the Women in Business Programme 2024 through BIPC Devon, sponsored by Cambridge Council. My name's Claire Palmer from Clarity Coaching, and I'm going to talk through a marketing plan that will really help you start to create great marketing habits. So, first of all, I want us to remember what we've already learnt about habits. And habits form from our actions, and our actions come from our thoughts, and our thoughts come from our beliefs about ourselves, our capabilities. What do people want to hear from us? What are they going to think about it? What are they going to think about us, our products, our business? All of those kind of things. So throughout this, you may well have to start challenging yourself and thinking about why you think a certain way about certain things, and really apply and adapt what I'm going to go through with you to your business, your industry, your clients, and importantly, your mindset in creating new habits around marketing your business. So, first of all, if we keep it simple, we can look at a marketing journey in three parts. So, part one is about reaching out to people before they're a customer, before maybe they even know that your business exists. And what we want to do is we want to just connect with them. We want them to get to know us, and we want to get to know them so that we build a relationship that has value. Now, the second part is during that relationship, what we're looking to do is follow up with leads. So if we know that somebody's been liking our posts on social media, for example, and they've engaged with some of those things, and they've told us a bit about their lives because we've shown them an insight into our life or our business, we can say that that person's a relatively warm lead. There's someone that we can approach and really connect with to show them potentially how our product or our service will help to enhance their life and their word. So they've kind of indicated an interest, either directly by commenting or asking you about something, or indirectly by liking your posts on social media, by following you. And our goal at this stage, the during stage, is to get them to like us even more and to buy from us. So if we're commenting back on what they've said to us, if we're reaching out to understand their problem more, if we are looking at ways in which we can relate what we do directly to their world, they're much more likely to want to buy from us because they trust that we know and appreciate them. And then after the sale, they've become a customer. So they're only a customer at the point that they have made that sale. You have got that money or that return from giving them something, whatever that something looks like in your business. So that's great. We've achieved one customer, but what we need to do is to build from that. So even after someone has bought from us, we should still be regularly engaging with them. We should still be making sure that when they are in a room that's full of opportunities for our business, we are the first people that come to mind when they are asked, oh, do you know someone who does X, Y, or Z? So this part of nurturing the relationship is really important if you want to create a kind of network of people who speak about you when you're not in the room. So at this point, we're really building trust and we're creating regular sales that come in because they have referred us onto someone else. Now, also, when you're looking at this stage, the after sales stage, what you may be looking at, again, dependent on your business and dependent on your industry, is How often do I reach out to this person? So, for example, let's say that our business is around wedding invites. Okay, so if we follow this 3-step process, before, during, and after. Before people are our customers, they're watching what we put out on social media. They're watching maybe videos of us creating cards and invites. They're watching other people open those invites to get that invitation to that wedding or that christening or whatever it is. So you're building a whole story that people can really connect with and feel like they know you. They know why this is important to you. They know what feeling you give other people, and they're liking those posts and they're reaching out. And maybe if they're following you, you start to follow them. So if your business was a card business and you're doing wedding invites, you might suddenly see that actually they are, they've got engaged. So you might say congratulations to that. And then, a month or so later, you see that they're out wedding shopping. At that point, you might say, do you mind if I send you a sample of what I can do? So you're keeping them interested, and then you're creating that sales lead. You're showing them that you understand where they are in their journey and you have something that can directly help them. So at this point, they will buy that wedding invitation for you. They're going to order 150 handmade invitations. So this is fantastic. That is it. You've got them to buy from you. And then afterwards, of course, you know what date the wedding is. So you may choose to send them a wedding card and simply say, thank you for letting me play a small part in your very special day. And then you may see that they're on honeymoon and that they've come back. And then there are key things that you know about that person. You know the date that they got married. So what you might do is in a year's time is send them a card. But before that, you're still liking their posts. Maybe you're still engaging with them because, they may fall pregnant, for example, and then they have a baby. So they're wanting to announce the birth of the baby. So they're instantly going to come back to you because you were there at the beginning when they got married and you've stayed connected with them. But also, they're more than likely going to have friends around them that are also getting married or moving on to that next stage in their life. So they're able to tell their friends about you, their family about you, and you're able to then build up this rapport by them becoming an advocate of your business. So think about that in what that means to you. What is the life cycle of your customer? Who are they? What are they before they're a customer? Who are they? What are they? And how are you treating them during that sales period? And then who are they and what are you doing after that sales period? Okay, so now we're going to move on to create a marketing plan that you can start to use straight away. And this material has been taken from the one-page marketing plan. It's a really useful resource to help you start your marketing. It does not take away from a professional marketing or strategy person. And I'm really pleased that in the Southwest, we have quite a few of those. Joining me live at Women in Business 2024, we have Hannah Mapstead from Unscripted Marketing. She's the founder of that with her sister. So she'll be joining us live in the room. There are other great people as well that can help you with your strategy and with your marketing. And you'll find names of those on the BIPC website. People like Catherine Dyer, for example, is really great to have one-on-one sessions with. And other people. So find someone who is marketing and appealing to you in a way that will help you build up that belief in yourself and your capabilities so that your thoughts change, so that you act upon positive actions and thoughts and you build your new marketing habits. So our new marketing habits are going to start to come from our marketing plan. So we know already there are 3 stages. And please do feel free to pause this recording at any point so that you can work through this step by step by step. By the end of this recorded session, what I hope you will have written on a piece of paper is the beginning of your marketing plan. And that is your comfort zone. And then we're going to move outside of that comfort zone to get some amazing results for you. So step 1 on point 1, before they're a customer, what is your target market? Now you may say, well, everybody is my target market. I believe that I can give to everybody. And that's fine. You may have that belief and it may well be what you do, but I want you to be really specific on this point. So if we go back to a card business, okay, so they do wedding cards. So their target market is people that are getting married. But can you niche that down even more? Can you have a specific type of wedding maybe that you really enjoy making cards for and invites for? So think about that target message and really niche down on it, because you may have different marketing approaches to different segments of your customer base, and that's perfectly fine, because what that shows people is that you really understand them and their world and their issues and their pain points in that niche area, rather than being too broad, where people just think that you're there for everybody and therefore they don't feel special with you. So think about that target market. Now, secondly, what is your message to that market? What is it that you want to tell them about you and your products and why they are different? Okay. So what is your message to those people? And maybe also think about, what's the tone of my message? Am I taking a formal approach? Do I want a funny approach? Do I want a friendly approach? Also, at this stage, please go and do some market research. If you're not sure about what your message to your target market should be, go and almost hypothetically sit in the middle of your target market and listen. So, with the expansion of social media and social media platforms, there is no excuse anymore not to just listen to what your audience are saying. So at this point, we're not selling to the customers, don't forget, we're just trying to create a relationship. So if we sit amongst the noise, we can actually start to hear the words used, how our target market describe things, how do they feel about things. And that way, when we are communicating back to them, we're going to talk in a way that they understand, not what we think we hear or what we think the problem is, but what truly is being said and in the way it is being said. And then the third point we're looking at on this first step of the marketing plan is, what media will I use to reach my target market? And by that, it's really about thinking, that person that I want to engage with me so I can inform them or sell them my product or my service, what are they looking at? Where are they? So, when we do the marketing for BIPC, we're not just looking at, do we just market and stick posters up in all the libraries owned by Libraries Unlimited across Devon and Torbay? Or do we think about, where were you when we reached out to you? Were you maybe scrolling through social media? Were you on social media sites for people considering setting up their business? Were you going to co-working events, and where are those co-working events? And did we go and put a poster up there, or did we come and engage at a networking event to tell people about the Women in Business program? So you've really got to think about, where is my target customer? And yes, they will be on social media potentially, but they'll also be in a variety of different places as well. So if your target market, for example, is maybe someone who's retired early from work, they are a woman and they are very affluent, you need to be targeting those places where that particular group of women go. So you might be looking at female only networking events. You may be looking at really nice spas, all of those places where potentially your ideal person is hanging out. So think about that. Your target market, who are they? Your message, what is the tone and structure of the voices that you're hearing from your target market, from that key person you want to engage with? And then where is that person? What media will you use to reach that target person? And again, what you find with media is it covers the whole range, literally from face to face through to what is seen nowadays as old fashioned, but a letter through the post, through to different social media platforms. You may even potentially use an influencer to get your message out to your target market. So that's an interesting concept to think, okay, well, if my target market is all the followers of this particular person, actually my target market is that influencer. So what is going to be my message to that influencer, and how am I going to get that message? How am I going to make sure that I stand out from everyone else who wants that influencer to recommend their product or their service, or showcase the difference that they're making through their charity work, or whatever it looks like in your world? So think about those things. Go through this stage several times for several different target audiences that you want to reach. So the second piece of our marketing plan is we've now got engagement with this potential customer. So we are at the point of making a sale with them, but we don't want to just jump in and say, oh, I hear that you've got problem X, and that's fine because I can cure that problem with my product. Here it is. Here's how much it costs. That's pushy for a start, and it's not building that long-lasting relationship. Sure, you may get the sale, but have you collated enough data about your customer to keep them as part of your marketing and engagement plan? So we need to look at, how do we make a note of all of these people? If we've got people liking our posts on social media, even if you've got 10, they're going to be hard to keep looking at. So what is the kind of system that you're going to create to do that? Some people like to use what's called a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, where they will put in details that they know about the system, and the system is automated to send out regular emails or to scan social media to find posts from those people, so that you can then go in and like their posts and comment on the posts and all things like that. So that's one way. Another way is to make sure that you use a spreadsheet maybe to write down those people that have liked your posts, whose profiles you've looked at, and you think, that's a really great person. I can feel connected with them. I want them to feel connected to me. So make a note of their names, where you're seeing their posts, and then you can set up in your diary time to go in week by week to check what they're up to like the post, to comment, to be able to private message them to say, I read your post today about how you're struggling with time management, and I absolutely get that, because I struggle with my time and being able to do all the family admin, and that's what's led me to really focus my business on creating a business that helps you minimize the time that you're doing family admin. So if you're setting up a family admin business, that's a great way to do it. So that's your lead capturing system. Your lead nurturing system then is those comments that they come back with. So maybe the person that I've said I'm setting up a business around helping you with family admin comes back and says, Claire, that sounds amazing. And I can go back and say, yeah, I thought so. And it's saving me 5 hours a week. Would you like to know more? So I'm asking then a question. I'm telling them that it's saving me 5 hours a week because maybe I've seen in that person's post, they've said there's not enough time in the week. I might even put that in my message back to them. I saw that you said you haven't got enough time in the week. I completely understand that. I felt the same way until I was able to save myself 5 hours by implementing the system that I've created. So that lead nurturing system. You might also be talking to them to say, why don't we have a virtual brew and I can talk through what I do and how I do it? Why don't we have a virtual brew so I can understand more about how saving time on your family admin would benefit you? So again, I'm not directly selling at this point. I'm just learning more about them. I'm nurturing that relationship. I'm really understanding their problem and how it feels like for them. So then on point 6, your sales conversion, at what point are you going to step in and say, this is what I offer, and this is how much it will cost you, or this is the benefit that it will give you? And I always recommend starting with benefits before you go in with a cost, because the cost can seem quite scary to a lot of people. However, once they understand the benefit, how it's going to ease their pain points, how it's going to enhance their life, and for how long, they can see value in it. And then the number that you're charging is, they can see that that value is worth that amount of money. So thinking about that sales conversion strategy, what does that look like in your world? What point do you go in with it? Now, one mistake that I used to make all the time, I offer connection calls in my business so that I can understand what my potential new clients want from me in terms of a coach. What is it that they're trying to achieve? What will that mean to them when they achieve it? What does their world currently look like? And therefore, if they achieve their goal, how will their world transform? And what I used to do is I used to do all of that, and I get to my lead nurturing system, which was having that connection call to understand them. And then I would send them an email to say, it's been lovely chatting with you today. We spoke about X, Y, and Z. And I know that by doing A, B, and C, and here's how you do A, B, and C, you'll fix those problems. And what used to happen was people would come back to me a month or so later and say, Claire, this is fantastic. It absolutely worked. Thank you so much. Great. Their life is enhanced. That is part of my business. That is what I want to do, is to create opportunities for people to live conscious lives and have conscious thoughts that enhance their world. So I've absolutely hit that, but my sales conversion rate was absolutely rubbish because I was giving it all out for free and enabling those results to happen. So what I really had to do at that stage was look at and review what I was doing. So at that point, when I'd had that conversation with them, the email that would go back would be, been great chatting with you tonight. I understand your problems. I understand how you're trying to get to this, that, and the other. And I know that working with me and by me supporting you with some bespoke coaching tools and techniques, you'll be able to achieve, X, Y, and Z. When you're ready to talk more, here's a link. So I would then be sending that email to them. And then a couple of weeks later, I would be following that up with another email to say, hey, just checking in. I know when we spoke, I gave you this small snippet or this small tool to try. How's that working out for you? You know, has it enhanced your life? Are you still wanting to enhance your life further with these 3 points? If so, don't forget, I'm really happy to work with you. So that's how I then started to change my sales conversion strategy, so that I was still fulfilling my need of making sure that I enhance that person's life by them spending half an hour on a connection call with me. So I was giving them a little tool to take away and use, but then I was following that up. And then 6 months after the call, again, if I'd not heard anything, I'd just simply drop them another line just to say, hey, I've been watching you on social media. It's been great seeing how you've used my tool to, you know, build your confidence and do da 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 da. And don't forget, you know, if ever you want to work with me, let me know and I'll make sure that I can fit you in to my client list. So it's all about nurturing that thing that they've given you so that you can create a sale from it. But also remember, if you don't create a sale from it, that's okay, because your objective isn't to creating sales after sales after sales, but this person may well just become an advocate. This person may just get to this stage in your sales plan and just kind of stay there. And that's okay. But by you regularly engaging with them, because they're your kind of person, you hope you're their kind of person, when someone asks them about what you do, they're going to be an advocate for you. So really important to bear that in mind. Okay, so our third step, we've created a customer. Woohoo! We're really excited. We've got that sale, or they've come to one of our workshops, or whatever it looks like in your world. So I want you to think about, okay, how do I make this experience really great? So if you're selling a physical product, this might be around how the product gets delivered. Do you put anything else in the box with the product? Is unwrapping the product part of the customer experience? Do you make sure that that is as pleasant as possible for your client in your industry? Have a look at how other people do it. What do their customers like about their way? And then look at how you can enhance that in your own unique and individual way. Now, I don't sell a physical product as such when I'm selling coaching packages, but one of the things that I do, for example, with clients that come to work with me is because I do a profile, neuroscience-based profile on them, I will have that profile printed off and I will put it in a nice box with some nice little chocolates and other little nice kind of personal well-being bits, and I send it to them through the post. So that's how I deliver a different kind of experience for my customers. So think about, in your world with your customers, what does that experience look like? Then we start to move into the how will I increase customer lifetime value? In other words, how will I make sure, excuse me, just sneeze there. How will I make sure that I am staying connected with this customer? So think of your customer life cycle. What are they coming for you? Why are they coming to you initially? And then what else will happen through their life or their career cycle or whatever it looks like, where there are touch points that you can go to. Now, this is easier if you're doing something like a wedding card business, because, you know, you've got the wedding, you know that potentially they may be planning a family, so you've got potential christenings in there. You've got other special events. Maybe they get a dog and they want to introduce the dog to their family, so you can go off and do dog cards for them. Maybe the first Christmas, you know, you send them a mock-up card of all the different photos from their wedding to remind people what a beautiful day it was in that particular year. There's lots of different things that you can look for in a life cycle. So look at the life cycle of your customer. You know, where are those touch points that you can just regularly fit in and almost automate in a way that you know you can re-engage with that customer. So Christmas period is always a great time to re-engage with your customers. You know, an email to your customers that says, as a small business, I just want to say thank you for supporting me. Every like, every share that you've given me on social media means so much. And the fact that you bought something from me is incredible. You know, so you can, and I want to say thank you and happy Christmas for that. So you could even use that as one of your touch points with your customers. So look at your customer life cycle and look at where are those points where you can go back to them. If you've had a new product development, that is always a great time to go back to your customers. You know, you bought my first product from me, you know, and it's great to see that you've been enjoying it, and thank you for your feedback. And I thought you might now be interested in this new thing. And the reason I created this new thing was because I heard from other customers that they wanted, you know, X, Y, and Z. So you're able to keep that life cycle and that journey and that connection alive. And then you might want to look at, okay, how can I get my customer to refer me to other people? So again, some of the strategies that you might want to think about is, are you going to offer them a discount? You know, so if you refer someone to me within 3 months, then on the next time you visit my salon or you buy cards from me, or you have a coaching session with me, I will give you a 10% goodwill credit. You know, that's how you could stimulate a referral in that kind of way. Or if you get a referral from someone who says, oh, hey, I've come to you because Claire referred you. Claire thought you were brilliant, so I've come to you. Make sure that you have it as part of your plan, as part of your process, that everyone who refers you, that you hear about, you go back and you thank them. Again, it's all about nurturing that relationship. So think about, how are you going to set up some kind of really simple process that allows you to capture that? You may want to have some pre-written emails so that all you're simply doing is changing the name and the date potentially there, but they're there and ready to go. So they're not taking huge amounts of time out of your business, but you have got something that you can use and personalize to say thank you. So think about that situation in your business. How are you going to reward referrals? Are you going to incentivize your customers to make referrals? What will that mean to you? And again, don't forget that any time that you are giving a monetary incentive or applying a discount, when you send your invoices out, you put the full price on and then you show the applied discount. Because what we don't want to do is devalue our product or our service by giving people 20, 30, 40% off all the time because they've made referrals to us. So always give the full price, then show the value of the referral because it's a discount. So here's some things to think about in terms of, well, okay, that's great. That's a marketing plan. It's a simple kind of 9-step process in 3 very succinct, clear segments. But what do I need to do? Well, first of all, you need to know your customer, and you need to know your customer, as I said before, in their own words, not in the words that you use or the problems you think they have, but really what and who and why they are your customer. You need to do that. You really need to spend some time to understand that. Maybe use a poll on social media. You know, I recently was working with a lady who was a tutor, and she was struggling to kind of create a funnel of constantly getting children that she could tutor, because her tutoring was very specific on the 11+ exam. So that all came to understanding why people would want to use a tutor for an 11 plus exam. And so she instantly said, well, it's because they want their kids to go to grammar school. But actually, when she went out and did a poll on why would you have a tutor to support your child at 11 plus, she came back with lots of different answers. So it meant she could really mix up her marketing and get a far more diverse range of children to tutor. So it fulfilled her more. And it also gave her different avenues to create these funnels of more children coming forward in later years. So then instead of just targeting people in like year 5 and year 6 at school, she could really start off in the lower years saying, oh, you know, don't worry about your child being like that at the moment, because by the time they do their 11 plus, I've seen kids absolutely fly through it, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So knowing your customer is really important. Focus on that target, that single person, first of all, that you want to get to. And I know through my own experience that that is really, really difficult, because I truly believe that I can help anyone who is brave enough to challenge their own thinking. So it's hard for me to get target audiences. However, what I found after months of being really broad is once I started to focus down on a target audience, I then saw opportunities that I would never have seen before, because I had too wide a spread. And I went down some really interesting avenues and working with people that I never thought I would get to work with. So focusing on that target will open up opportunities that at the moment you may not be able to see. Focus on how you're going to interact. What platforms are you going to use? You know, can you do anything quirky or something a little bit different? And don't be afraid to try. Try something different. Trying something different means that you've been brave. And if it doesn't work, that's okay, because your objective was to push yourself out of the comfort zone, and you did that, and it's okay. And then from that, we're still continually learning. So you see on here, keep learning. Marketing and social media and customer interactions change all the time and can change very quickly, dependent on lots of different factors, both social and economic. So it's important that you keep looking at what is happening. You know, what are other people doing? How are they doing it? How can you do the same, but in your own way? So important to keep that learning going. Monitor, monitor, monitor. Monitor how much time, and remember, your time does have a value attached to it, that you are spending on these activities compared to what you are then getting in return. And if things aren't right, you need to be brave enough to change the system. You need to be brave enough to take a step back. And sometimes when things aren't right in our marketing, it can mean we're either marketing to the wrong people in the wrong language at the wrong price. So actually being able to step back and look at that. And, you know, sometimes we're marketing and we think we're doing amazing because we're saying, oh, special offer, 50% off. But the people that we're trying to reach, our target market, are looking at that thinking, that's cheap. There must be something wrong with it. Because maybe that is their mindset and we've not considered that. So keep monitoring your markets and monitoring your numbers and monitoring what's going on, and be quick enough to pivot and change where you need to. And finally, on social media, know your platform as well as you can. Now, social media platforms feel like they change at the drop of a hat and literally overnight, and some of them do. So you need to know your platform and know what your objectives are for using that platform, and your tone of voice and your style, and keep that consistent so that when people see that thing that you represent, they instantly think of you. So if people see my logo, for example, I would like to think that they instantly think of me. And people who, you know, talk about me or whatever, it's easy for them to see that logo and get to that website. So all of those things are important when it comes to really getting to grips with our marketing fundamentals and taking that leap of faith into promoting with positive enthusiasm and self-belief and confidence what we do. So getting your message out there, as I've just said, it's all about communicating in a language that our potential customers or our existing customers are using, talking about their issues, their pain points, what it is they're looking for, how it will enhance their life before we talk about our products. So our marketing messages always need to be compelling. They need to give that person that you're reaching out to that question, why am I not going to buy from this person? They're amazing. People are talking about them with such positivity. People are saying how much they've transformed their life, their business, their whatever, you know? So your messages need to really be compelling to that person so they think, yeah, I'm gonna connect with you, I'm gonna buy from you. When you're connecting with people, you're talking about their needs, their thoughts, their emotions, not your product and how it solves their issues. Always keep that focus on what are you trying to achieve. Now, here in a face-to-face workshop, many people will turn around and say, well, my goal in marketing is to achieve a sale. But have a think about it. Is that really your key goal? Is that really what you're trying to achieve? Or are you trying to raise awareness of yourself, your product, your service, so that you open up a wider market of people who have easy access to potentially buy from you? Because one of those things is quite small and quite direct, and you could hit it, but one of them is much wider, much more challenging, much more fulfilling as a business owner, in my opinion. And then the end of our message to our people is having a call to action. So your call to action at first, when we've got this person who's, just a prospect, that first step of our marketing plan, our call to action, maybe something as simple as, tell me what you think about X. If you put a post up about, let me think, what did I put a post up today about using Marmite in lasagna? So I've put a post up on social media that says, what's your special ingredient? What gives you the edge over other people? Mine is putting Marmite in lasagna. It elevates the lasagna. So I've got a call to action because I'm asking people to engage with me, telling me what their secret to success is. So once they've put that comment in, they've become a little bit of a lead for me, because I can then look at their profile. I can see, is this the kind of person that I'm trying to reach as my key customer for this service that I've got, this product that I've got? And if it is, I can then connect with them and I can like their post and I can say, oh, thanks for commenting on my post about Marmite. You're starting to build that relationship. Your call to action may be something like, message me if you want to know more. Your call to action could be, what's your answer to this polling question that I'm going to put up? There are lots of ways that you can make that call to action where you can get them into your prospect, from prospect into being a customer, from a customer into being an advocate for your business. So lots of different things for you to think about and engage with there. And in case you're wondering, Marmite in lasagna is brilliant. Only a teaspoon, not too much. So, here we're really now looking at, okay, how do we become irresistible to our customers? It's about demonstrating value. So if you can get some comments from other customers, they are great to demonstrate value, because it's not just you saying this is the difference that I make. It's your customers saying, thank goodness I found this person because they have transformed this thing. They have made my world better. And it gives people that reassurance that they're buying something that others are recommending. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it because it is super important. Language is super, super important. When I first left my corporate job and set up my own business, if you look back at my early posts, they are full of corporate speak, because for 25 years, that's how I had been brought up to engage and speak in a particular language when trying to get people on board. However, really sinking down, really thinking about my customers, really spending time with those people that I would, really want to work with, meant that I changed my language, and it meant that I attracted those people more naturally who I wanted to work with, who I knew I could make a difference for. Remember, why should people come to you? Talk about your qualifications, maybe talk about other great things, awards that you've won, or maybe you're selling with a special offer. So, why should you come to me? Because for this month, I'm doing 20% off. There is nothing wrong with special offers, but make them special. Make them something that doesn't become the norm in your business. Make them something that people get extra value from, maybe, but also make sure, as I said earlier, when you send your invoice, you have your full price on there, and then you have discounted by whatever amount, whatever percentage, because, and have your why. Why are you giving that special offer? Again, it makes a person feel quite special receiving that discount, but it also means that they're not going to necessarily go out and tell everyone else that you can get this product for X amount of pounds, because they understand it was a special offer that they got at the time. And that way, if you do get a new customer who comes in and says, well, Claire told me that she got a coaching session for £50 instead of £75, you can say, that was a special offer that I was running at the time, and I'm happy to do that as a one-off for you for your first session, but after that, the sessions are at normal price. So, you're able to then have more of those kind of conversations where you're not just constantly reducing and applying a discount to everything that you do. And then remember to look for those upsell opportunities. What else complements your product or your service? If you do a new design, if you do a new kind of specification, go out to your existing customer base. Even though they bought the original, if you've now got something better, they may well be interested, or they may well know someone who is interested. So really important to look at those opportunities where you can keep in that customer life cycle and you can upsell to those customers. Keep adapting. Marketing, social media platforms, customers change and adapt all the time. That's a fact. So you have to keep on top of this. You have to keep reviewing it. You have to keep improving it. You have to keep tweaking it. You have to keep acknowledging that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because those are mistakes give you the opportunity to update what you do. So make sure you're regularly reviewing, you're monitoring what you do, you're logging what you do, you're looking at the advantages that gave you. If you're using social media posts, there's nothing wrong with using previous posts that you've put out. There's nothing wrong with reusing posts from before. There's nothing wrong with reposting them with a different viewpoint at the top and say, I posted this a year, but look how much has changed in a year. That's a really good example of being able to repurpose. use other people's posts and social media kind of stories to highlight your things. You know, if you've got someone who does something similar to you, there's nothing wrong with saying this is absolutely fantastic, and it mirrors what I do in my business, which is, you know, this, that, and the other. So, you know, use other people's posts to highlight and share the things that you do, but also don't steal other people's work. You know, if you're using something from someone else, even if it's just that they gave you the idea to put that post up, one of the great things you can do to show that you have good ethics in your business is to give them credit for giving you that thought, or, you know, giving you that idea from a post that they put up. And it shows that you're a collaborative person as well. And again, ethics and collaborative working and being open and honest are really good business values that your customers hopefully will be looking at and saying, that's the kind of person I want to work with. Comment and participate in things in your wider industry. Participation is great at getting prospect customers, because you're, again, using stuff that they're already looking at, and you're finding out what they're saying. And most importantly, they are getting to know you by what you say on there. Congratulate your worthy rivals. I said earlier on in the Women in Business course, and I think I probably said it on week 1, you know, we're not here, any of us, to ever look at other people as competition. We are here to collaborate, to share, to network, to build up women, empowering other women, advocating other women and their businesses, and looking at people who are worthy rivals, people who we can learn from, who we can share with, who we can collaborate with. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with connecting with those people. If you look at my network, you'll see that I've got quite a lot of coaches in there, and some of them I absolutely see as worthy rivals, but none of them I see as competition, because I want my mindset and my energy to be focused on me and my business and what I'm trying to achieve and what my goals and objectives are. So why would I waste time and energy comparing myself to others when I know that that's just going to feed that kind of inner critic, that monkey on my shoulder that's going to say you're not as good as them? So why start that conversation? Focus on what I want to achieve, what I want to do, how I want to do it, how I want to learn and grow from that, and who do I want to collaborate and learn from within my network. And, you know, be varied, use different mediums, different ways of, you know, as promoting what you do. If you want to stick to one platform, there is nothing wrong with that. But sometimes just try doing different things on that platform. Put your content out in a slightly different way. See if it gives you a better result. What you don't want is people getting bored and just skimming past the stuff that you've put up. So look at different ways in that you can use different mediums, but remain consistently on brand. Don't keep changing your brand colors and things like that. You know, try to stick to a palette. And again, you know, if you think, well, that's fine to say, Claire, but that's really difficult for me to do, and I don't know how to do it. Again, there are some great businesses based in the Southwest that have worked collaboratively with BIPC before. For example, Lucky Night Studios, run by a lovely pair of ladies. You know, they will help you create that branding and that branding template, so that the stuff you put out has that consistency about it. So some great things to pick up, to learn, to look at. And don't forget, you know, BIPC, as we've said before, have got a whole wealth of specialists as well that can help you with the free one-to-ones there. So I would say over to you, any questions, but this is a pre-record ready for the session tomorrow in Newton Abbot Library. However, if you do have any questions, you know that you can always reach out to me through my social media channels, or drop an email into BIPC and ask them to forward it on to me. And I will happily, have a conversation with you about that. So I hope that this session has given you some commitments to do. I hope that you've paused it as you've gone through and written out your marketing plan so that you feel much more comfortable and in control of developing that aspect and really trying different things. Because, you've got to have this faith in your ability to fly. I say it every week because it is super, super important. You need to trust that if something goes wrong, it's okay because you are the one in control of where you set your next destination. So a bird is never afraid of sitting on that branch because it doesn't trust the branch, but it certainly trusts in its ability to fly. And we all have that ability to fly if we believe that we do. So thank you again for listening to this recorded session. I hope to hear from you directly on what you've achieved through this, what you've learned from it, any questions that you may have. And please, if we're not already connected, do connect with me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or on Instagram. It's been great to spend some time with you today, and I hope that this has really given you food for thought. Hope to see you soon. Take care.